Well, politicians in Washington write a lot of laws against insider trading. But guess what? They don't actually have to follow them.
Do you think it's all right for a speaker to accept a very preferential and favorable stock deal?
Well, we didn't.
And you participated in the IPO.
Well, I have many
And at the time you were Speaker of the House. You don't think it was a conflict of interest or had the appearance of a conflict of interest?
It only has the appearance if you decide that you're going to have elaborate on a false premise. But it's not true, and that's that.
I don't understand what part's not true.
Yes, sir. That I would act upon an investment.
Well, today, Nancy Pelosi fired back, attacking 60 Minutes. But the question remains, should politicians have to abide by the same rules as Wall Streeters? You know this is a bipartisan problem.
But this is a bogus scandal. I mean, listen, first of all, let's look at the evidence here, Tracy.
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi presided over the toughest crackdown consumer-friendly legislation against credit cards. This was a Visa stock, an IPO in Visa. It was the worst money in the world that Visa ever spent. The reality is, this is a bunch of fake hand-wringing. If you want to get the money out of politics, if you want to solve the real problem here, I've got some solutions. They involve public financing and cracking down on lobbyists. But shedding these crocodile tears about Nancy Pelosi, you know what? It's just a bunch of hypocritical bellyache.
I don't think anyone's crying for Nancy Pelosi, including Nancy, because after all that Botox,
what did she
can't
do
cry.
What did she do wrong?
What did she do wrong? Didi, come on.
She did the same thing that any investor. She and her husband are rich people. They invested in an IPO that me and you don't know about. But you know what? That's what rich people do with their money.
There is no transparency. There is no requirement that they file that I get to see. You and I get to see their stock trades every year, as there are for the rest of us.
Yeah, this is outrageous. It really is. I think this is definitely going to be something that's not going to go away. And for members of Congress to have this insider trading going on when other people go to prison for it is absolutely wrong. And, hey, you know what? Here's the thing.
This isn't insider trading. She doesn't have any fiduciary obligation here.
But that's wrong, though. Members of Congress should have more responsibility than anyone. Well, but she's benefiting from knowing inside information about Visa.
It's not just her. House Speaker Boehner also involved, owned healthcare stocks during the whole healthcare.
We need to change the laws. It's not fair for them to have that advantage when other people don't. And here's the other thing about Nancy Pelosi. You know, let's talk about crocodile tears here. Oh, she's applauding the Wall Street, the Occupy Wall Street people saying, good for you, good to go against those rich Republicans and the people that have an advantage over you. My gosh, talk about hypocritical.
You don't mean this.
Yes, I do mean it. She has this advantage over everyone else, and then she is applauding these Occupy Wall Street people, saying, oh, look at those terrible Wall Street people.
So then let's do something about it. Let's
I agree, we need to pass a law where they're not able to do that.
Let's get the money out of politics. Let's make it so that campaign contributors and rich companies don't run Washington.
Here. She says this on her jet across the country.
Well, so get the money out of it.
So then she should walk. Is that what you're saying?
It is absolutely a huge problem in our country that rich and powerful people have such influence in Washington.
It's not
much more
rich
influence
and powerful.
Than we do.
We are talking about a
big
bunch
corporations, big professions.
We are talking about congressional leaders that don't have to abide by any rules. Even those rich corporations have policies, internal policies, where they have to submit the investments they make, and they are therefore judged on whether or not those are fair investments.
So don't let these big contributors and big lobbyists run Washington.
And how are you going to get Congress to police themselves?
I'm going to get public financing. I'm going to get lobbying reforms. I'm going to do stuff that takes companies like Visa and all these other people we're pretending to be so upset about get their money out.
Where does somebody like Boehner or Pelosi say, you know what, that's just not right. The perception is just not right. Even if I legally can do it, you know what, it may not look that good to my constituency. This is somebody who has demonized Wall Street. Demonized Wall Street. And then you go and trade stock.
This is the woman who presided over.
The hypocrisy is nuts.
This is the woman who presided over the toughest consumer legislation.
It doesn't make any difference.
And then you go and trade the stock?
We are leaving it with Dominic saying she demonized Wall Street.
Too bad. They
That's
deserve
where
a
I'm
little
leaving
demonizing.
it.